Good morning. Today I am going to take a class on the topic of Payment of Bonus Act 1965. Before going into the topic, first we should know the meaning of bonus. So what is meant by bonus? A bonus is an extra amount of money that is added to someone's pay or salary, usually because they have worked hard. In practice of paying bonus in India appears to have originated during First World War, when certain textiles mills granted 10% of wages as a war bonus to their workers in 1917. So they introduced in 1970 the Bonus Act. The Payment of Bonus Act 1965. The Payment of Bonus Act 1965 aims to regulate the amount of bonus paid to the persons employed in a certain establishments based on their profits and productivity. If the workers are done well, so they will pay bonus for that year. The Act is applicable to the whole of India for all the establishments containing 20 or more persons employed on any day during the year. Suppose in your factory, if the workers are working more than 20, you can make the payment of bonus according to this Act. So before going to that, now we are going to see the objectives of this Act. So what are the objectives? There are 4 objectives of Bonus Act. First one is to impose a legal responsibility upon the employer of every establishment covered by the Act to pay the bonus to employers in an establishment. For that, so the employer's legal responsibility is to pay the bonus according to this Act. Then second one is to identify the minimum amount of bonus and maximum percentage of bonus to the employees. Third one is the formula for calculating the bonus. So when you go for bonus, you have to calculate according to the formula as it is prescribed. Then fourth one is to provide redressal mechanism. So any grievances are there in the calculation of bonus, so it will be applicable. So the fourth objective is to provide redressal mechanism. Then we are going to see the applicability of the Act. First of all, where it will be applicable. So it will be applicable according to all the factories or establishment containing 20 or more 20 or more workers employed in any day during the year. Suppose in your factory, so the more than 20 workers are employing there, so you can pay the bonus according to this Act. So the Act does not apply to the non-profit making organization. So now suppose if your organization is making no profit, so in that case no need to pay any bonus, or it is not applicable. According to this Act, it is not applicable for the non-profit making organizations. So it is not applicable, the Act is not applicable to establishments such as the LIC, hospitals, which are excluded under this section 32. Suppose if any LIC or hospitals which are excluded under this section 32, so this Act is not applicable. So it is not applicable to establishments where the employees have signed an agreement with an employer. Suppose your employee is signed with the employer in case, so for that no, it is not applicable. So it is not applicable to that establishment. Then it is not applicable to establishment exempted by the appropriate government, like a sick unit. Suppose if there is a sick unit, or if establishments which are exempted by the appropriate government, so for that unit no need to pay any bonus. So according to this Act. Now departments, undertakings and branches of the Bonus Act. What are the departments will be eligible for bonus? So according to this section, any different departments or undertakings or branches of an establishment of whether located in the same place or at the different areas should be considered as a part of the similar establishment for computation of bonus under this Bonus Act. Suppose in your factory many departments or different departments are there, or different branches are there, means each and every branches will prepare the profit and loss account and balance sheet to calculate the bonus. So the separate balance sheet regarding the profit and loss account, the establishment in the year had to be prepared and maintained concerning the department or undertakings or branches should be treated as a separate establishment for computation of Bonus Act. Suppose in your factory, if you have a many branches or many department or anything else, so it should they each and every department and each and every branches should prepare the profit and loss account and balance sheet to before in computation of bonus for the year. So then next we are going to that eligibility for bonus. So who are eligible to get a bonus? So in that case, any employee receiving salary or wages up to rupees 21,000 per month. Suppose if you are receiving 21,000 and below, so you are eligible to get a bonus, whether you are skilled labor or unskilled labor or managerial or supervisory, etc. whatever may be. So you can eligible and you can entitled to receive the bonus for the year. So in that case, if the employees have worked for not less than 30 working days in the same year. So you must work in the year 30 days compulsory. So the next one is disqualification of bonus. The employees cannot utilize the bonus in case of undergoing with the following activities, whatever may be: dishonesty, if they are dishonesty, if they are doing any theft cases or theft in that case of the property of the establishment, violent behavior in that campus, so they cannot receive any bonus because they are disqualified for getting the bonus. The next one is number of working days. How many number of working days will be taken for calculating the bonus? So in that case, so the employee will be considered working in every year by including the following days which is specified here. The employee who is under an agreement or permitted by standing orders under the Industrial Employment Act 1946 or Industrial Dispute Act 1947 or any other law applicable to the establishment. The employee during the employments has taken leave with the salary. So usually we are getting casual leave. Every month we are getting casual leave. If beyond the casual leave, we have to get a loss of pay. So in that case, employee during employment has taken leave with a salary. Then third one is the employee who has been absent due to the temporary disablement caused by the accident arising out of or in the course of work. In any case, if they have met any accident in